What's going on YouTube? Favorite Function LA here. Today I'm going to be doing a review on the Coil Master 521 tab. This thing is pretty badass. I'm going to do a little build for you guys on this thing, and we're going to get a little bit more in detail. There's a lot of things you can do with this. You can fire it, you can test your ohms, you can test your voltage drop, and you can build on it, and you can fire your mod on here. It has an 18650 battery inside. We will open up the box and show you a little bit about this thing and do a build on it. So let's take it down close and I'll show you everything about this 521 tab. See you down below. Alright, and we are up close with the Coil Master 521 tab. On the side of the box, it says 521 tab by Coil Master, coil up to be a master. And on the bottom, it has the 521 tab picture itself. That's not a sticker, that's actually printed on the box, and it looks very, very clean. It has your features: ohm meter, voltage meter for mech mods and regulated mods, coil rebuilding deck, coil burning, a table mod, and it has reverse battery protection. The specifications on this thing is the resistance measuring range is 0.01 ohms through 9.99 ohms, voltage measuring 0.3 through 9.99 volts. Resistance rate as low as 0.2 ohms. It has a 510 threaded connection pin, and it's also spring loaded. Charging is 4.5 volts, 750 milliamps, micro USB charging input, so it has a charger on the side. Battery is not included in here. It only runs at 18650 at 3.7 volts. So basically your 35 amp batteries or VTC5s or any of that. Open this up. You have your mod itself, or ohm meter as you want to call it, the 521 tab. I'll call this a mod because you can fire it. On the side it has their Coil Master 521 engraved on there. On the bottom it has the same specifications that are on the actual back of the box itself. So if you don't have the box on you and you want to know the resistance measuring rates and all that and the ranges, that's where it is. On the side you have your USB charging port, and on the other side, I have a little bit of juice on there, I apologize, but you have your burn option, you flip it over, or you have your meter option right here. So on the top you have your spring loaded 510 connection, and just to make sure it's spring loaded, we'll stick this in here. It's pretty decently spring loaded to me. It doesn't have that much of a resistance, but it feels pretty strong, so I don't think it's going to really wear out in time. Alright, and on the very top you have your plugs for your voltage reading. I'll show you guys that in a second, and it also has, you can plug banana plugs in right here. When you flip it right here, you have your burn option, and your fire light turns on, and the red ring isn't glowing. The red ring glows only if you put it in meter mode, and I think that looks pretty cool. This is when you're reading your resistance. If you turn off the lights, you can see it a lot better. It looks really, really cool. If it's not a really fairly bright room, you can really see it really well, and it looks very, very cool. Alright, so let's show you what else is in this box. So you take this little box compartment out. You're going to have your banana plugs and your USB charger. What these do is basically the same thing a 510 does. If you don't have something that you want to test that's on a 510, or if you're going to test a coil that you wrapped yourself, that's how you test it. You hold on to one end. So I'll show you guys. What you're going to do, because a lot of people wonder what this thing actually does, is you go and you plug in one side, plug in the other side. It doesn't really matter which way it is. And you put it on resistance mode and hold the coil on each one of these, and you'll see the resistance on here on the screen for that coil itself. So if you're messing around with coils, you just want to know the resistance before you install on the RDA, that's how you do it. And that thing's really cool that it has that feature. Also in the box, like I said, you have your USB charging for the side. This is a micro USB. and it plugs right in. You can plug it into your laptop or any charging output. If you have like a little charger block, you can plug it into that. Then you have your voltage meter checker. So you're going to check your voltage. How you do that is you bring this over here. You throw this on here right over the fire button. So it's cupped, so it's not going to push the fire button down. So you throw this over that and you put it in voltage meter mode or meter mode. And we're going to get a mech mod. So I have this old Caravella. And let me make sure I have a battery in here. I don't have a battery in here, so I'm going to throw a 8650 battery in here. Throw this in here. This was a pretty popular mod back in the day. This has a brass connection, and it's a stainless steel mod. So let's check out the voltage drop on this thing. So we throw this down on here. And we're going to put an RDA on here so you can see the voltage drop. We can tell your voltage meter range, so how much battery life you have on here. So my battery is reading at 4.24, so it's a full battery basically. And we're going to put this RDA on here. So I'm using the Shadow RDA, the MGNT RDA by Shadow. I'm sorry. This is a really nice RDA. Oh, I'm already firing it. Alright, so when I'm going to fire this RDA, it's going to be firing at 3.4 with the voltage drop, or 2.3, 2.2. That's my voltage drop on here. So that's pretty cool that you can tell your voltage drop. And if you're going to read your ohms on an RDA, that's how you do it. I have a 0.24 ohm build on here. This is a 22 gauge. And we're going to throw a build on here right now. So I'm just going to rip out the cotton that's in here. Alright, so our coils are now looking pretty nice. I have a nichrome coil, so they kind of turn a little bit of a yellowish blue, kind of like a copper color after a while. After they've been heated and abused, but they're pretty clean. Warming up pretty good. So let's give these a little squeeze. Make sure they glow pretty evenly. Then we can install some cotton on here. One big issue that I have with this 521 tab is I wish that it had a 26650 battery in here, because your battery, when you're building, it actually drains fairly quickly. As you can see, I'm at 3.9 volts already, or 3.8. It's jumping back and forth. So I'm going to take that out. I'm just going to throw battery back on the charger. Yeah, my battery's at 4.1, but it drains the battery like crazy. So let's throw a new battery on here. The one that was in the mech. Just so you can get a solid, fresh battery burn. Alright, so fresh battery burn. Turn off the lights for you guys so you can see the coil burning. Some of my favorite builds, because it gets kind of like warm and then it heats up quite even. That fires. Very, very nice. Alright, so let's cool this down and we will wick this thing. Yeah, it's just about cool to the touch, so we are ready to install the cotton in here. So Let's take the little trusty scissors out. Put my RDA to the side. Make sure it's turned off. We got some fresh cotton. So what I like to do, some people, they like to take the outside of the cotton off. I actually kind of like to leave it on because that kind of keeps the cotton from burning in the center because it's a little bit more tough. This is just where they iron the cotton down and make it flat. And I think it's a little bit more tough and it holds juice inside. I mean, it does kind of take the flavor away and the juice, like the juicing of it, but it's okay. That's just how I do it. So let's cut this out. Cut some even strips. Cotton, like just about even. This one looks a little bit smaller. Just throw that to the side. Alright, so we are ready. So what I do usually when I'm building is I take it and I twist up the end really, really tight. I'll slide it through and give it a little tug. It's usually perfect almost every time. It's not too tight, it's not too loose. You move it back and forth, kind of get the tension out a little bit because the coil actually kind of like cuts it a little bit and it gets just about the perfect tension inside. So this one seems a little tight. Well, it's just about right. So move it back and forth and it makes it just right. Just about the same. Alright, so now we're going to snip the edges. I like to cut it a little bit shorter. Alright. It's a little too short, so let's take that to mind. Alright, there we go. Just perfect. Alright. So I'll throw away this extra cotton that's basically just trash. So let's tuck this down. I like to just randomly tuck it. Just make sure it's not in like too much or too little. Just make sure it's just over the dish. And then I kind of like push it down. Since this is a 2-post RDA, I like to keep the middle kind of spaced out. So let's put this down in here. Alright, because usually the cotton will expand a little bit when you have the RDA all wicked up. So once you get some juice on it, it's going to expand and it will touch the bottom of the juice well. So let's get some juice on here. Paint it on here just like Bob Ross says. Could just paint it. Paint. Let's put it in fire mode. Give it a little love tap. Suck that juice in. Vapor. Alright. Today I'm going to be vaping on some munchies. This is their new juice. This is the Martian. This is the watermelon Sour Patch Kid. This is very, very good. Make sure it's all waked up. Alright. Looks good. Smells really good too. Alright, and we are ready to roll. So, the mod I'm going to be using today, take it off the shelf. This is the Minikin by Asmodeus, so I'm going to take this out. And I'm going to put some batteries in here. I'm going to vape on it and talk about this Coil Master 521 tab. Alright. I will see you guys up top. Alright, so we are back. So we took the 521 tab out of the box, showed you everything about it, showed you the user manual, showed you all the options that this thing offers for you. And my personal opinion of this thing is it's a pretty awesome building little stand, and it's also a table mod, so you can vape on it on the table, I guess. I wouldn't recommend it, but you can. It has a pretty accurate reading for the ohms, and for your voltage drop, it also has for that, and it also gives you a voltage reading for your battery without the RDA on here, so you can tell if your mod is dying or not. If you're not around a charger or something, you can test and see if your battery is still fully charged or not. Anyway, so it has a lot of options on here. I would highly recommend this device. This thing is not too expensive. This is actually $39.99 on sale right now at coilmaster.net. I would highly recommend you guys picking up one. This is a really nice thing to have if you like to build, or if you're learning to build and you want to know your ohms and you don't want to get like a cheap ohm reader. This thing is pretty badass, and this thing is going to be something that you're going to hang on for a long time, and it's very worth the money. Would I recommend buying it if I lost it, or if I would buy another one if I lost it or broke it? Yes, I would. I would actually buy another one of these. I actually kind of want another one of these, but there's no real purpose for me to have another one when I have one myself. Like I said, you guys can pick it up at coilmaster.net. I will leave the link down below and the actual link to pick this up. And if you guys pick it up today, it's normally $49.99 and it's going to be $39.99. So that's a pretty good price. They offer free shipping, and the handling time is 1 to 2 business days. Delivery in the US is going to be 3 to 7 business days. In other countries, it's 7 to 15 business days. So it's decently okay. They're a very busy company, but this is an awesome product, so I would highly recommend picking one up. Anyway, so that concludes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed my build and my unboxing of this thing. This thing is an awesome product, and I'm going to be doing further builds and build tutorials and RDA reviews and everything that I can with this thing, because this thing is pretty awesome, and I have a new setup over there in my little recording studio where I'm going to be able to do builds and stuff with the new Coil Master mat, so it has really good contrast, so it looks very good on my videos. Anyway, so if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, and I will see you guys later on. Stay strong, vape on, peace out YouTube, till next time.